How to have a cancer and comedy lifestyle. Hi, good people. Brad Miller here from the Cancer and Comedy Podcast and the Clean Comedy Cancer Benefit.com comedy show. And I just want to share with you a little bit about having a cancer and comedy lifestyle. That is making the whole idea of a cheerful heart, knowing that a cheerful heart is good medicine, like it says in Proverbs. That's having an attitude that no matter what you're dealing with, whether it's cancer or depression or relationship issues, anything in your life, if you have a little bit of a uplifting attitude about it, it can make all the difference in the world. Lots of ways of doing that. Checking out my podcast is one of those, which is at cancerandcomedy.com. Also, check out the Clean Comedy Cancer Benefit at cleancomedycancerbenefit.com, which is our live comedy show, which is coming up on November the 4th, Saturday, November 4th, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. And we've got Rick Roberts coming in, a clean comedy legend, and he does a killer Barney Fife impression. If you're in the Indianapolis area, you can check that out and get tickets to that and check that out. It's in Whiteland, Indiana, at cleancomedycancerbenefit.com. And if you're looking to check it out on live stream, we're going to have opportunities on live stream on YouTube and on Facebook. And you can get connected to that at cancerandcomedy.com/live. And the lifestyle thing was a part of the opportunity I had to be on a television program called Lifestyle Live on Wish TV Indianapolis. When the host was named Cody Adams, I was able to be on a news program with him and then on his Lifestyle Live program. And we had a little more in-depth conversation about what we're going to do at these events and how you can be served by an attitude of gratitude and by having the sensibility of a cheerful heart is good medicine. So I just want to invite you to now take a look at this show segment that I did on the Lifestyle Live program with Cody Adams. And thank you for joining me. You'll hear more about this in the future, but hope that you'll check out the Clean Comedy Cancer Benefit, and if not in person, live at cancerandcomedy.com/live. Let's take a look at this clip.
Welcome back. Dr. Brad Miller is the host of Cancer and Comedy, a podcast that's helping others find laughter in those tough times. And he joins me now with more about a couple of events coming up. Brad, thanks for being here. We appreciate it.
Awesome to be here, Cody. What an honor.
Let's start here with your podcast, Cancer and Comedy, because it's a genius idea. Explain how this came to be.
Came to be because I had a bad joke played on me when a month or so after I retired, I was flagged for cancer. It led me on a journey of several months, ended up in surgery for prostate cancer, and I decided to do something about that. Instead of just wallowing in misery, the grim of cancer, said, okay, what can I take out of my experience? I'm a retired pastor. I have a doctoral degree in transformational leadership, and I've been podcasting for 11 years. We create a podcast called Cancer and Comedy about helping people turn the grim of cancer into the grins of uplifting stories. That's why balloons is our symbol, uplifting stories that can help people to heal with hope and humor.
That must have been really hard to think, okay, I've retired and now I get to live my life.
Oh.
And instead you were met with, wait a second, I got to figure out how to live before I can even live my life.
Let me ask you, you've been impacted by cancer? Yeah. Folks out there have been impacted by cancer. When that word comes in, it blows you away. Yeah. You're devastated, you're depressed, things like that. So what are you going to do about it? One of the ways, what impacted initially is I had to laugh to keep from crying. Yeah. So I decided to do something about that. That's what we're doing with Cancer and Comedy.
This has led to a bunch of other things as well, including a comedy show that you're actually
Well, doing the comedy podcast, Cancer and Comedy, led me to interact with some comedians. I found out there is a whole circuit of clean comedians, and some who, including the person I'm coming in, who has deal with cancer in his own right. So we decided to do an event, and it's called the Clean Comedy Cancer Benefit to raise money and awareness about cancer. And we got Rick Roberts coming in, who was in the movie called the Mayberry Man movie and streaming series from the Danville. He's also a prostate cancer survivor, and he makes that a part of his act. And so we are put together an event November 4th, Saturday, November 4th at 7 o'clock p.m. in Whiteland. at the Heaven Earth Church, 309 East Main. And that's one of the reasons we're here to share about that event.
One of the things I love is we learn early on in life that there is comedy in truth.
Yes.
Right? And so, yes, life gets hard, but there are moments in that are still funny.
Absolutely.
Whether it's irony or actual laugh out loud laughter. Is that what you've found in doing these stories on your podcast, that people genuinely have moments where they go, yeah, life was hard, but I laughed a lot through this as well?
Oh, yeah, that is such a wonderful thing. Just in my podcast that I just released this morning, had a young man, he's a financial planner, and he was helping his sister who's going through a terrible time, and they had a moment when they cruised their hometown of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, like they did when they were teenagers, and they laughed and they cried like they did when they were teenagers, because they were having those silly, dumb moments when you're teenagers, but they reconnected as a brother or sister. And she passed away not too long after that. But they had that kind of special moment that brought laughter and a smile.
Good memories within those opportunities to have
Absolutely.
Bad memories. We can wipe those out.
Those are the stories I'm looking for.
Yeah. You're also quickly helping people learn how to podcast. Right?
Absolutely. The podcasting world has been good to me. I've been doing it for 11 or 12 years. And so an opportunity came out of all this to have a podcasting conference. So we've got Dave Jackson coming in, who's on the screen now. He's a Hall of Fame podcaster. He's going to be teaching how people can grow, launch, grow, and monetize a podcast. And so we're doing that the same day as the evening comedy show, but it's from 12 noon to 5 p.m. and all kinds of podcasts. If you want to learn how to podcast, come see me, Dr. Brad Miller, and we'll help you out.
It's a great thing you're doing, Brad, and I appreciate you coming and sharing your story. Real quick, guys, I do need to share my story of laughter. When my oldest daughter was diagnosed with cancer, the moment the doctor said, your daughter has leukemia, she let out the biggest laugh I have ever heard from a baby. And I don't know if it was just coincidental or not, but in my mind, it was certainly meant for that moment. So I love that you're sharing those types of stories with other people and helping people get through it. So
that's why I want to have you and your story on my podcast.
Let's do it.
All throughout November, Wish TV proudly celebrates the brave men and women.